What up, though? My name is Charles McBride. I am a filmmaker born and raised in Detroit. And I've been doing film for, it seems, about 12 to 15 years. I kind of lost track of time, just immersing myself in being that. I've worked on numerous shows, movies, independently, studio-based, lived in LA, done that life, struggled the whole 9 yards just to try and put myself in a position to gain more information in the industry that I love. What do I specialize in? I'm a screenwriter, but when COVID happened, it kind of forced me to reinvent myself and figure out ways that I can stay in this industry. Because at the time, screenwriting, it just wasn't happening. Studios were shut down, movies weren't being made. And so I had to figure things out. What I did from there is I learned the business. And by learning the business, I was able to start working with independent film companies to produce, write, film, and be part of the crew of independent films, simple said. That has opened my eyes to wanting to go above and beyond to teach the information that I've learned to other people. And that's why I'm back in Detroit doing that. And I'm gonna rock that out until I'm on to the next place. What keeps me motivated, what keeps me going? This industry is crazy. Honestly, I probably wouldn't tell a lot of people to get into it if you don't have the qualities to make it like that. Like, yeah, you do lose sleep. You do fracture relationships. You find yourself like probably not the best of healthier diets. But what motivates me is the willingness to succeed. I get to tell stories. That's the most important thing to me. I get to share my point of view with the world, and it's not many industries where you're able to do that. And that's my motivation for the most part. I have other motivations that's personal to me. I want to provide a legacy for my family name. I think setting myself and my family up for success in the future is very, very important. To me, it's about breaking generational cycles, right? It's about passing, again, throughout this interview, you'll probably hear me say the same thing. It's about knowledge for me. So if I can pass the knowledge and set my family up for success, that is enough inspiration for me to go every day. Man, I love these questions. What are the challenges, right? Lack of information, lack of knowledge, right? So when you're a beginning filmmaker, you don't really understand all the little things that go into what makes something run. I compare it to an engine, right? So most people just think it's just an engine, right? And as long as you put gas in the car, it's gonna go. But there's pistons, there's spark plugs, there's belts, there's so many other parts to a car that allow that car to run. That's filmmaking. There's so many parts to making a film that allows it to be made properly. So what happens with beginner filmmakers, that sometimes they don't know everything that goes into making a film, but you learn that the more you film. That's why it's important for you as a beginning filmmaker, if you are making a film or you want to be a filmmaker, film something. And then once that's filmed, critique it. From those critiques, learn what you need to change and apply it to the next project. And you keep going and you keep going and you keep going. This is no different than any film, the Spike Lees, the Singletons, the Hughes brothers, the Tarantinos, Coppola, I mean, you name it. Each film always got better from a production standpoint. And that's what filmmakers need to take into account when they do a film. The first one might not be the Quan, right? It might take a few films, but keep hanging in there, keep going, and keep gathering information. The more knowledge you know, the better the film will be in the future. The biggest challenge that I faced on going to a streaming platform of any sort, doesn't really matter which one it is that it's a lack of transparency. When there's a big corporation, and that's for anybody who works in a corporation, that there's things that you don't know, right? When you go to a streaming platform, let me be more specific. Sometimes a problem that happens is that ad dollars change, right? So you're getting a certain amount of streams at what you thought would be a certain dollar per ad. And at any given time, that streaming platform can change what that ad dollar is. So you tend to make less money. That goes into the percentage in which streaming platforms take out of your project in the first place. So let's take Tubi for an example. When you release a project on Tubi, and that's without going to a distributor, through a distributor to Tubi, if you're going straight with Tubi, they're taking 50% of all money earned. That's a problem, because 9 times out of 10, they didn't put 50% into the production to get it made. So it's like your baby. Like, imagine, you make $100,000 worth of streaming revenue, and off the muscle, 50% of it is gone. That limits the amount of money that you take in. That limits the amount of money that you can do to do other things, to pay people for new projects, maybe even for your family. That takes money away from there. So that is a problem that at this point we necessarily can't solve, because everybody doesn't have their own streaming platform. And frankly, you really don't want to. I mean, that's a lot of work. That's a whole nother ballpark. So you have to be in this for the long haul. You have to be in this to be able to get noticed, right? Because when you get noticed, then the deals come to you, and then the money gets better. Why is it so important to build a community and a fan base? All right, so to me, and a lot of my answers are, in my opinion, based on what I've seen. The reason why it's so important to build a fan base and a community is because the community is going to let you know what they like. If they let you know what they like, then you know what to make. I give the people what they want. Tubi has allowed me to bring urban content to their platform, because that's what the people want. They want stories that they are familiar with and that they can relate to. When you think about a city like Detroit, they don't see sometimes the cushy life that you might see on a show like All American. They in Beverly Hills, right? So it's unrelatable to them. It's almost like watching a show like All American allows them to dream of that's what they want, but they want to live in reality. And what's in reality is the stories that are happening in our everyday lives. And that would attribute to a community. I am looking to build myself as a filmmaker that makes content for a community that loves film. So I like film noir, I like action movies, I like horror movies, I like hood dramas, I love TV series, I love heist movies. I want to make all that, but I want to also listen to my community and to my fan base and in what they will want to see, but also I want to turn them on to new things and new perspectives. So if I'm going to do a heist film, let's do one about a Black family and they all work together and they're a family that do heists, right? That will cater to a community that I'm a part of. And that's just for an example. I don't want to give too much away because somebody might steal my idea, but yeah, that's the gist of it. I just think it's very important to cater to them, to keep it consistent. It's no different than a rapper who has his fan base. You know, they don't change up their rap. A singer, they don't change up how they sing. And so you gotta cater to that. Oh, flipping movie. See, now this is the one I might get a little mad, but I'm not about flipping movies, right? And you might say, what is flipping movies? It's simple like flipping houses. You take a house, you fix it up, and you flip it out for a profit, right? So a lot of times movies are made very cheaply here, and it's to make a profit, which is not a bad business practice. It's actually very smart, but sometimes the best content doesn't get made by doing that. And the reason why content doesn't get made very good by doing that is because you're rushing the process. This is a process. This is a machine. Making movies is a machine. It's 100-year-old machine that if you know the rules, then you'll know how to break them. I'm not for it. I believe in the model of fast, cheap, and good. You can only pick two. So if it's fast and cheap, it probably won't be good. If it's good and fast, it probably won't be cheap. So if you add in where you're lacking at, then you'll make a successful movie. That is the model in which I want to be a filmmaker. I want to do the $500,000 budgets. I want to do the $1 million budgets. I don't particularly want to make 10 movies a year. I'd rather make 2 movies at $1 million, pay people to be on set for 6 months out the year, and it'll equal a living wage for them for the whole year, and they can go work on other projects for the next 6 months. That's how I want to do it. So I don't believe the model of flipping movies, the flipping aspect of movies is sustainable, because soon, if it's done cheap enough, then people will just film it on their iPhone and put it on YouTube. Then they won't need filmmakers. They won't need the smaller distribution companies. You're setting yourself up for failure. I think that you have to, by doing the movies the right way and taking your time and planning them out, you bring something that the average iPhone movie maker doesn't bring to the table. And that's a quality through sound and visual aspect. And then from there, you actually get noticed. I'll give you an example of how how not flipping something can work to your advantage. There's a girl, I can't think of her name, but she created Pop the Balloon. Pop the Balloon is where contestants go on a show, they pop the balloon if they don't want to date them, and then they move on to the next thing. All right, so she's 76 episodes in. Probably around 50 episodes, I'm willing to guess, Netflix came to her. And this is a true story. She has millions of views. Netflix came to her. At this very moment, she has an 8-episode series on Netflix. And she still owns the rights to the shows that come out on YouTube. So she's making money 2 different type of ways. That is an example of somebody who didn't think about flipping something. That is somebody who had a passion about a project and put her best effort in and took her time, made 76 episodes, and now she is in a whole nother league. What that did was that set her family up for success. That broke a generational cycle. Now she's able to probably take that, and who knows down the line what projects that she has or will have, and she'll be able to parlay that into a deal because she's already with Netflix. I would have left them girls alone. That's what I would have did. But seriously, I would have just started this process earlier. I started when I was in my 30s. I got really serious about it. I always wanted to be a writer. Since I probably got out of high school, I was watching Martin and I was like, man, I want to do that, but I didn't want to be in front of the camera. So I was like, man, I want to write episodes. But it took me 10 years of just goofing around and getting to a point where I put myself in a position to succeed. And then finally, like around in my 30s, I moved out to California. because I wanted to make it, man. I wanted to live that life. So that was the first step. And I got to California. The girls were a little bit different out there. So I had to play around for about 4 or 5 more years as I half-assed on sets and different things of that nature. I didn't dedicate myself to it. Then I dedicated myself to it, and I see what that dedication brings you. So if you have a dream, or if you want to, especially in filmmaking, the earlier you start, the better. You need to put 10,000 hours in, and that's on anything. So it's best to get those 10,000 hours early in life if you can. Absolutely. So FlmLnk inspires filmmakers, I think, primarily through gathering data, right? This is something that independent filmmakers in my position have yet to be exposed to. So when you go to a distributor, that distributor is talking to that streaming platform, they're exchanging data, but you have no access to that. FlmLnk will provide data based on people who are watching, collect their information, so you know who's watching, you'll know about demographics, and it'll serve also as a marketing tool, so you will be able to market your film simultaneously as it's out, and not simultaneously even before it comes out. And that would lend to the community aspect of it. You will know who your fans are. So this is an incredible tool that we're creating, and it's to the moon. This is an interesting one. Me and Detroit have a love-hate relationship. I love this place. Even when my parents been divorced since I was probably 4 years old, so I always had to kind of like go between homes up into high school. I actually did high school in Pontiac, Michigan at Pontiac Central. Shout out. But it was always a connection and just being back and forth all the time. So that led into my adulthood, and I moved away when I was 18, and I always kept coming back and forth. The love part is that if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Detroit has grit. Detroit has grind. It teaches you to go after what you want. It teaches you to be original. It teaches you to be yourself. The cold helps, because with seasons, you still got to do what you got to do. No matter if it's snowing outside, no matter if it's rain, you'll move somewhere else, like California, and it rain and everybody in the house. Not Detroit. You know, a person still got to get out and get it. The hate part that I don't like about it is that we don't work together. It bothers me, bothers the hell out of me, that we don't work together. And sometimes that has to deal with just upbringing and worried about somebody taking from you, because this is a rough place, right? So the person that goes out and work at a factory, they get their new car, the whole 9 yards, you got to worry about you being robbed. You're the person that's going to work 50 hours a week, right? Not that person that is robbing you and trying to take your car that you work for. That's the love-hate. We are not community based on getting it together. It is getting there, but we have not fully made it. One thing that I would love to do is get with a few filmmakers, maybe 10 or so. We all put our money in together and we create and we make that $1 million budget film, right? Instead of us all making 30,000 budget films, let's all come together and let's make a film that can go worldwide. That's a dream of mine, and maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. Selfishly speaking, in the Detroit in me, I'm gonna do it regardless. So if I gotta do it by myself with my team, then so be it. But I would love to work with other filmmakers in Detroit so we can do this together, and we could take our talents and show on a worldwide what we have to offer as a community. first meaningful project. I'll be honest with you, I don't know if I've done it yet. I've worked with a lot of great people on a lot of great projects. I've looked at those projects as steps to something better. The project that probably means the most to me is the series called Shots, and that's on Tubi right now. A person of mine, a person close to me, he financed the project, and out of that, we formed a great relationship that's gonna last forever. The creator of the show, same way. That's my brother from another mother, and we formed a great relationship. Out of that one series, I formed relationships with tons of people, and that's what led me to work on their other projects as well. That's probably the one that means the most in a sense, but personally, I don't think I've done my most meaningful project. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. All right. New perspective. The world is so much bigger than Detroit. And that's not a knock. That's just reality. That's a fact. It's the person that grew up in Detroit and never went past 8 Mile. Like, you don't know how good Somerset Mall is. It's a really good mall. It has great food. You can buy a lot of different things. I mean, that's how the world is. That's how other states are. Man, if you leave Michigan, you'll find that they got good food in Atlanta too. They got good food in Texas too. They got good people there. They do great creative projects in other places. The importance of just going other places is what I use. I believe in traveling, right? Because traveling lends a certain expertise or knowledge to perspective that the person that grew up in Seattle, Washington doesn't think like the person that grew up in Detroit, Michigan. And at that point, that's two different characters. So I can take, if I'm writing a story, the background of the protagonist is they grew up in Seattle, Washington. That can lend to how they react to every situation. The antagonist, he grew up in Detroit, usually the villain or somebody of that nature, the antagonist. And how they are reacting to the protagonist might lend an ear on how they grew up and what they had to go through. So this is just basic storytelling. It's like layers to your life. That's what getting out of Detroit provided me. It provided layers to my life. I can walk in a room and talk to somebody who makes millions, or I can walk into a room that somebody who makes $10 an hour. I have that wide range of perspective to talk to anybody. And I don't know if you get that just by staying in one spot, but maybe you do. I think it goes back to that Shot series. We were dealing with distribution and we could have went with anybody, right? And me and the executive producer just kept saying, because we were thinking from a business side, we just kept saying like, and I kept saying to myself, I won't feel right if you have to worry about money coming in and how it's going to come in. I don't know this person who owns this distribution company. I don't know that person who owns this distribution company. I don't even know how they're going to give me the numbers, right? So just after doing research and shopping for different deals, we finally came to a company that was for us and surprisingly took the least amount of money, and was going to be able to show us proof of how that money was coming in, and this is something that we're going to be able to check. So once I kind of like went through distribution, I was like, all right, I got this. Like, I understand the business side, and once I understood the business side, I'm like, this is going to make me a better filmmaker, because now I make film with purpose, right? So when I make a film, I already know what my quadrants are. I know who my demographic is. I know pretty much what the niche market is going to be. and I make a film based on a business decision. And when you make a film based on a business decision, you set yourself up to success to be able to be profitable. And that is very important for me. So
this just in. This is a developing story.
Let me tell you a story about 3 cubs that grew to be fierce lions. All 3 had dreams of becoming the king in the jungle. The lions fused. Lord, please forgive him, for he doesn't know what he's doing.
It's perception versus reality.
So why even do it?
It's easy, babe.
Something ain't right. Something ain't right.
This homicide gonna be there for the rest of your life, sitting over your head.
The devil gotta go.
The devil? You ain't met no damn devil. It can be God. Trying to get you to move around.
Nah, he forgot about us a long time ago.
I used to be just like us. Wanted all money, cars, everything in life.
You mean to tell me you're at that office all day with all that access? You can't come up with anything?
Nothing is coming up.
Sure, gotta die. Anyone that gets in the way. My daughter almost died.
You killed someone in your own bloodline.
Bro, be careful out here, all right? Devil busy.
Guess we got something in common.
So Young Ra, he is the creator of the story, and he called me up one day and was like, Charles, what do you do? And I was like, man, I make shit happen. And he was like, I need somebody like that on my team. He was like, I'm gonna send you the script. And Rob, man, he sent me the script in text message. And I was like, Lord, okay, all right. And so I was like, man, we gotta put this in a script. We gotta get this in a script. We gotta get that to 70. He wanted to 77 pages. It meant something to him. I can't remember why 77 was so significant for him. But I took that story and we came up with characters, and I was like, man, I want to do something weird. I want to make a movie like Sin City. I want to have interesting characters, names, and stuff like that. So I took like biblical names and Greek god names and implemented them in the script. And based on what they were in the Bible or in Roman times or the Greek gods, I catered those characteristics of them to the story. And we just went with it. As far as picking the cast and crew, it just came together. Man, we picked a DP and he couldn't do it. All right, so we about like 3 weeks out. And then, but he turned me on to somebody else, Ali. And Ali, we was about a week away. And Ali had a baby and he couldn't make it. And so I called up a friend of mine and I'm telling her, Latish McIntosh, and she turned me on to a DP. His name is Fox. And from there, it was kind of up. And me and Fox been making movies ever since. Like every single movie, he's my guy. So that started that. The cast and crew, it was more strategic than anything. And Young Ra had a lot to do with this. He wanted Jamal Woodard. He wanted J.D. Williams, Trey Chaney. These were people that he knew already. Freeway Rick Ross. So my job was just to literally try and just make sure we put them in the script, and that's how we did it. So it was more of a strategic thing because we knew that these were faces that people wanted to see on Tubi. Again, once you understand the business side of things, you start making decisions based on the film differently. The crew, like I said, man, I've been rocking with the same crew, so that wasn't really hard. It was like calling up my friends, like, hey, man, y'all want to film a movie? And that's how we made it happen. And he had already picked out the director, so we was in there like swimwear. when you write a story, the main thing that you want to do is, the question that you ask is, what am I trying to say? What message am I trying to deliver? I essentially want to make content for now and the future that delivers a message. I want to pass knowledge off through film. I'm not an activist. You won't be seeing me pound the fist down the street. It's probably just not my style. It's not who I am. But if I can deliver that message through film, that would be my goal of mine. Also, to feed my family, to provide a legacy that takes my last name and makes my family proud. It's very personal to me to do a good job because your name is already attached. As far as ideas that I have, I deal with a lot of projects that are related to the injustice of people who are in prison. In fact, 3 out of the 7 projects that we are already doing right now have everything to do with that. But I'm a sucker for a love story. I want to make Titanic, you know. I want to make a story similar to the Titanic or Notebook. I want to make the heist movie like the Ocean's 11. I am trying to make content that will provide longevity for myself and the people that I employ for as long as possible. All right, so the advice I have is good fucking luck. Seriously, good luck. Gather all the information that you can and good luck. But film something. Start, do it. It's with anything. It's just not filmmaking. Anything. You want a successful relationship with anybody, you gotta try. You gotta actually do it. That's the only advice that I could really have for anybody doing anything. And yes, especially filmmaking, right? Do it. Because the more you do it, the better you get at it. And again, this is not just something that pertains only to film, right? And yes, there are a million ways to make film. There's a million ways to do it. There are, and what works for me might not work for you, right? But the difference between somebody who might be new to it and me is I'm doing it, right? So you do it, and then you come back and you share your story so we can all get better, right? And then I can see your ways. And then I can see if, man, you know what? Chew up the meat and spit out the bone. I could take a little bit from here. I take a little bit from Singleton, from Spike, from Tarantino, from the Hughes brothers. I take from all of them. And I see what works for me, because we all have gone through the struggle, and you're going to go through the struggle. That's point blank. You're going to go through the struggle unless you get really, really lucky. And there are instances where somebody who gets really, really lucky. But even if you get lucky, you don't know everything. So you're going to have to constantly learn more. And I think that's just the beauty of life. Like, life be lifing out here, right? But the more information you take, you get along the way, the more smoother things can kind of be. So again, man, good luck. And I wish the best for everybody in this industry. Success to me is progress. So I'm progressing along the way. And from that, I know that financially I'll be okay. So I'm not really worried about that. Award-wise, if that happens, it feels good to be recognized, right? Everybody wants to be recognized. When a little kid does the dishes or cleans the house and the parents get home, I clean the house. You want them to be like, oh yeah, great, you clean the house. Everybody, from the smallest things to the largest things, somebody wants to be recognized. So yes, do I want to be recognized as one of the greatest filmmakers to ever live? Absolutely, I would love that. But if I can just continue to make film for the rest of my life and that be my primary source of income, that is success to me. So you can reach me on Instagram. I'm so incognito. It's definitely the writer and the introvert in me. Winston.McB. My ex-girlfriend created my Instagram page probably about 8 years ago, and I just kind of rolled with it. I was like, man, I don't want my name out there. So it's Winston, WINSTON.MCB on Instagram. You can find me at Charles McBride on Facebook, baseball cap as the picture. On Tubi, you can find my movies, The City God Forgot About, Shots, just SHOTS. What else do I have out? I can't even think at this moment. But man, let's just start there. Follow me on Instagram. You'll see my projects listed on there, and we can go from there. And if you guys have any questions or anything, y'all just want to shoot the breeze about projects and how we can all become better, then hit me up. Up and coming projects, yes. Let's start with the Mysteries of Sex series. Love My Yacht. I directed that. Love that film. Love that series. This one right here, Down with the Skits. This is a comedy sketch show, Detroit based. This is gonna be hot. My guy Herb Bellamy created that. Young Rod, we came back again and we did another project, The Firing Line, him and his wife. That's coming soon. That's gonna be hot. And I can't wait. We're gonna keep it going. I have so many people to be thankful that's been in my life. It's something about being a good dude, right? Like, people, they want to fuck with you. They like you. And I'm so grateful for that. But I only got this way because of my dad. And, he just the most important person in my life. And my mom too, don't get me wrong, but I grew up with my dad my whole life. And proper preparation leads to opportunity. He properly prepared me. And I ain't know it at the time, and I gave him a lot of pushback, and man, I got my ass whooped as a kid. But there was a lesson in there, and I ain't really realized it until I was much older. So I like to thank my dad for just making me into the man that I am today. If I had to leave this interview, or it's really kind of good conversation, with any lasting words, I think that we really just have to continue to gain knowledge. That's my thing. Just gain knowledge. And the question to it is, how do you gain knowledge? The answer to that is be a seeker. Just be a seeker of information, and the knowledge will come. All right, cool. Always could have been better though. That's not as perfectionist in me. Appreciate it.